What is happening, good people? Welcome to this Relationship Friday edition of Herb and Two. I am leisurely lounging between the great E4O and the audacious Tucson Warner. My name is Herb Howard. This is where we get together and talk about specifically relationships. Every week we set aside some time to talk about relationships in the black community. We think it is foundational to everything we want to build on top of those relationships, be it politics, heavy in the news, agriculture, education, economics, violence prevention, whatever it may be. We think building our relationships on a solid foundation is absolutely critical to our mission. So we set aside some time to do that. Thank y'all so much for choosing to be a part of that conversation. As always, your input is valued and certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We will read through as many of your comments as possible. Please take a quick second to share the broadcast on your personal pages, in your personal network. Share with anybody that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation. Also, make sure you have subscribed to the page, hit the like button, and set the alert so you can remind us every time we go live, which we do every single Monday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, this is Herb and Two. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb. His name is Two. Two. What's happening, good brother?
What's up, family? I'm tired, but I'm in good spirits, G.
Your braids is crispy, though.
They are crispy, G. Shout out to my braider.
Shout out to Big Bang.
You know what I'm saying? Lace the nigga. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it look crispy. It look crispy. I know we joked around about this on Monday show, but I kind of miss your fade a little bit.
Okay.
You used to have crispy fades. You know what I mean? Put your vagina up. Faces.
Okay.
Now you look like Goldie or one of them niggas right now.
Oh, you know I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm reliving my youth out this bitch.
Chico
you
or
know
some
what I'm
shit.
saying?
Knock it off.
Get my Puerto Rican 2-0. You know what I'm saying?
Puerto Rican too. Anyway, E4O is in the building as she tends to be on these here Relationship Fridays. E, what's the word, man? What's going on?
Tons. A lot's going on. Done a lot.
That's it?
A lot.
Hard stop.
All that.
So
much.
So busy.
So much, you know.
I'm bigly busy.
So busy.
I've been bigly doing
Went
things.
to see my one brother and Dream Girls in St. Louis. I really enjoyed that train ride. I keep talking about it. I would like
It's
to
not
take
bad.
a train
You're
ride.
an old
somewhere.
lady, man. You're an old man some days and you're an old lady other days. I never know we gonna get about your
She's
ass.
fluid.
She's fluid.
She's fluid. She goes back and forth seamlessly.
I had such a great time on that train. I really enjoyed it, not having to drive. Then I saw
That's
my
not bad. I used to do that joint when I was in Carbondale.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it often because I mostly drove, but sometimes that little train ride, it take you straight from here and it'll shoot you straight down
yeah.
to St. Louis. I mean, I got off Carbondale, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
I fuck with the Louis Giro though. I like St. Louis.
I fuck with St. Louis too, man.
Yeah, it's some little ghetto shit, but I like it.
Yeah, man. I used to go to East St. go to the strip clubs all the time.
East St. is definitely some ghetto
Shout out
shit.
to Bottoms Up and Pink Slip.
Pink Slip was definitely where niggas got shot. All the strippers had bullet wounds.
Oh, it was
Next
a
level.
situation, but it was situated though.
Yeah.
But no, I fuck with St.
You
Louis,
get to
man.
see
Shout out
all
to
of
Emo's
that.
You
Pizza.
get anything you want in Pink Slip for like $15. Anything.
Y'all ever been up in the Arch?
Inside
when
the
I
art?
was
Yeah.
when I was younger, like I was 10 or something like that,
Yeah.
8 maybe.
Well, you probably didn't think it was that dank then. I was too old when I went. I was probably 19, 20. I don't know. I was in college. But I'm like, this is dank as hell. First of all,
What is dank? Stinky?
it's bad. Just not good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I know in Atlanta it used to be like a term for like weed. It didn't
What are we doing here today?
In Atlanta it used to mean like weed. It didn't necessarily mean bad weed, but I've always associated it with like some bad shit. Like that shit dank as hell.
It's a word I've been saying lately that I'm like, why do I keep saying this? I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna say it by the end of the show.
I'm gonna bring all the old slang shit back. Remember like 2 years ago I wanted to bring back what was it? Some old shit.
I've never heard dank though.
You never heard dank?
No, that's
Y'all never
ancient
heard dank
slang.
either?
I heard of dank, but dank is like
Only on the smoke
with
side?
weed.
You ain't never heard it's just like a bad thing, P? You neither?
I've heard of bunk,
Bunk for sure.
not dank.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think I've been
I'm a
saying-
pioneer. Dank. Send it out. Let's go.
Period.
Okay.
Bronny James. Dank. Like, nah, but I went up there. It was just whack. First of all, I never knew you could go in the arch.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know until I was like there one day. Hey, you can go in there. I was like, you can go in there, and you just ride this little goofy ass like cart kind of up.
Yeah, I think I remember that
but
when I
it's
was a
so
kid.
fucking tight in there, and it's like, oh no, this ain't it. And there's
I
some
don't do
windows.
none of that.
It's some windows at the peak of the arch, and you look out over the city
okay.
type shit.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
don't do
whack.
none of that, staple in the city shit most times I go to cities. That's for white people.
When I go to
Like, who been to the Sears Tower? In here.
I've been to the
have.
Sears Tower.
Y'all all been to the Sears Tower? Without your goddamn schools.
Yeah, I've been.
Oh, okay.
You ain't never been to like the observatories, none of that
In
shit?
Chicago, I've been to all of the shit. I'm not
Yeah.
going in. I'm not going to say I don't give a fuck about it. You see them when you see them all.
Nah, so when I go to cities, I always do the same like 5 things. I want to go to your quote unquote worst neighborhood. I always go to the hood. Quote unquote best neighborhoods. I just want to compare and contrast them to what I know to be similar situations. So I always go to those 2 things. I want to get some food that this place is known for. I do want to do y'all obligatory tourist shit. And then I want to go to the strip club. And then I feel like I've seen the whole city. I'm good now. I can go. And if in between some of those, I can hop on y'all's public transportation, because I think you get a good feel for a city via public transportation. And I would like to do that too. But those are the 5 things I do in every city, and I'm ready to go. Good hood, bad hood, food, strip club, tourist. I didn't see the city. I'm out.
All right, we're gonna make that into a postcard for people so they can
Yeah, check
check
them
that
out.
off their list.
Yeah, check them out everywhere y'all go. Boom, 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 boom. Do the Herb and Two tourist checklist. You know what I mean? But nah, the training's not bad. I'm sorry. You said you went.
Oh,
to
that's it.
training?
I went there. I was only there for 24 hours to see my brother and Dream Girls, Army. So that was really, really good. I never seen the movie Dream Girls. And then you saw it?
I'm sorry.
I mean, right? You have faces today. I'm like,
There was some shit going on. I
He
didn't know
just
that.
picked up 2 keys from a.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Peruvian just came to the
Yeah,
show.
I
You
don't
didn't even
get-
see it.
He got the purest dope in the city right now.
all right
Insane.
now. Implicating.
You see how free it is to be a woman? You didn't even see the door open?
No, I did not.
There was a whole Peruvian in here.
Like, if there's danger, they'll take care of it.
What's your face looking at? The fucking door just swung over. That's what I'm looking
I didn't hear it, see it, nothing like that.
They'll take care of it.
at. Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I never seen Dream Girls, but I did go back and watch it after I saw the play, and I didn't need to because they did that good, so I did that. And then we can talk about it later, but I went to see my other brother in Michigan recently, but it's going to be a 5K on August 17th, and I'll give those details more later. But I want all of us to participate in it, and I'm going to run it through Color Me Social. And maybe we could do a Herb and Two team, or Herb and Two could just be a part of the Color Me Social team.
What's the 5K,
That's
like
it.
3 miles?
3.5, like 3.5.
3.5.
And you do it whichever way. Like, you could walk, you could run, you could
She's
roll.
also talking about making hers a dance, though.
A dance-a-thon.
She wants niggas to dance down the street for 3.5 miles.
She just, boy, she make
Just-
niggas gay every chance she gets.
Call the bus stop. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Looking at it's gonna be 8 miles for us.
Everybody freeze!
I'm thinking that'll be fun though if it's a DJ and then we have the dancing. You was come on now, Herb.
No, I'm not opposed
I was
to
gonna
it.
say you was at the last dance-a-thon dancing it all.
No, I'm not opposed to it, and it's for a great cause.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brandon, his whole entire recovery, man, and we'll tell y'all more about it so y'all can get involved in that. No, that's dope. That's dope. That's definitely a good weekend, man. We got to get out on the water. What was that, Sunday we got out there?
Yeah,
Saturday?
yeah, Sunday.
Sunday,
Yeah.
got on the water, got on the boat for a little while, chilled out, man.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Because apparently my dad and Herb have these in-depth conversations.
Yeah, we do. It's my man.
And, so we like had, various conversations about that, which my daddy be liking. First of all, he goes too far in general, like just me and him. So
Going
then
too far in what way?
his jokes, like he just crack jokes and he just says the most inappropriate things, and I be like,
That's my kind of nigga.
I don't find him to be all that inappropriate.
I be like,
He just
Too
be saying
far.
we gotta say she don't like when she's around. When he say what he gotta say.
yeah, but it was fun.
So I told the bitch,
He ain't quite. He not like P, but no, we had a good conversation the last time I was on the boat, just me and him, just chilling for a little while. When he was just showing me around the boat, and then when we was out there, we continued the conversation. She's like, "All right, I don't want to hear that."
No, he was like, I can't say what I really want to say because Erica right here, she don't like when I do this and that.
she a security
And
guard.
I'm like,
That's
yeah,
funny.
you inappropriate.
Let me ask y'all this: what is it about water and boats that turns 98% of women into straight thoughts.
I was gonna. We must be on the same accord because I was thinking that was gonna be on the outline.
My goodness.
Same thing as a motorcycle on the street, right? It's anything. So I was talking, that phone call I got before we left the
Me
other
into
day.
thoughts too.
Right.
Sure.
Well, that's
We're
too
gonna
much
meet
for
y'all
me.
wherever y'all
A different version of it. I'll explain. But a different version.
I wouldn't understand. But it's the
Come on, I
same
would
thing.
understand.
It's the same thing, right? Like, I don't think there are no barriers to, like, feminine desire. So all you gotta do is have some new shit. It's like being a new nigga at school. You gonna get action. As long as it's new, I'm with it.
Action.
Right? It ain't like boats just came about, but now niggas got boats, and we
Yeah.
get to experience them, and women get to be their nigga selves. We're not supposed to be saying nigga and cousins. So women get to be the women's selves. You know what I mean? In a new setting. That's all. It ain't nothing special. It's your own crib when you first get it. It's your first car when you first. It's amazing what women to do with a car when you got a car. You never would have thought that till you got your car. You know what I mean?
That's real.
It just is what it is.
That is true.
Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, like
it's a minivan.
it is. When you put it into the context of like when it's your first crib, because it is like when you have your first place, or when you with a man that has his own place or whatever for the first time when you're younger.
Yeah.
It is a vibe, and the boat is a vibe.
It is a vibe.
Especially at nighttime with
nighttime.
that Chicago skyline, like.
The stars come out.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little dark. It's secluded. Got the little rocking of the boat. The wind is flowing.
You could just
You
watch
probably done had a drink or two.
Yeah.
Music going.
Well, you just
Change
chilling
from the
watching
third
TV.
floor to the high rise. Oh no! You unlocked a new layer.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that the elements of it is
You
like.
understand, right? It's like,
It's
it's kind of vibey.
It's kind of romantic.
Right,
Like,
it's very romantic.
Yeah,
it is very romantic.
It is kind of romantic. I can see how people get into that. But what I was specifically referring to was like how, like you said, now that black people have more boats, there's more black people chartering boats and renting boats from black people. Your pops and his guys, he got a crew of guys out there. They all got boats, and sometimes they allow people to charter them and rent them out. One of his guys happened to be doing that the day we was out there, and it was just like 20 girls. I say they was young women, right? 20, they was in their 20 type shit. 8-hour twerkathons. Just every time we look over there, they just they standing on this, they standing on that, they twerking this, they twerking that, they on the ground, they like, sweetheart, why y'all on the ground though, like on the dock part, like.
Is there any other way to be sexy?
Yeah, for sure, you know that.
I'm sure there is. I'm just saying, seemingly young women don't know that.
It's the twerking. I was thinking about this today too. I'm like, who told all the girls to do this? Put your outfit on. You put your outfit on. You walk. Somebody records you as you're walking.
Oh my God.
And then you turn around and look back, and then you keep walking. And I was like, you know what I'm talking about?
I do know what you're talking about.
And I was like, who told the people to do this?
The little walk away, the little run, that's all weird.
The walk away to look down.
No, it's just on the social medias. They just do it. Like, it's just walk and look, and whenever they feel like they feel like they look good, they do. They little walk.
It's the equivalent of men sitting there.
Amazing walks though. It's the equivalent of what now? Wait, what happened? What you just said? What you just said?
It's the equivalent of the man sitting somewhere like this, maybe on his phone, acting like he not looking at Ron take the picture.
She said, and looking off. Just the equivalent of the light skin look off. It's the equivalent of the light skin look off. That's why I laughed so hard when she said it. It's the equivalent of the light skin look off.
You took that picture first of all. Like, why are you trying to act like that? But yeah.
I hate the candid genre, candid photos. Like, I just watched y'all retake this candid photo 8 times. Like, this is ain't nothing candid about this. Like, I'm sitting in the club, the party, like, y'all trying to catch this candid. It's like, y'all ain't shit candid about this.
It's the most interesting thing, catching it. Like, I always want to catch the dudes taking a picture. I'm like, how do you set up the photo? Like, do you be like, hey, my G, take this picture for me? And I caught it live in action one time with somebody that I went to high school with, and it was the biggest turnoff.
This goes into the list of the 462 things that men can't do. Right? You can't what? You can't have. No. It's in the list. It's already in.
It's literally in the list.
It's already in the list. Right? But when you think about it, though, right, the world that we live in, ain't nothing candid. Ain't nothing You know what I mean? You don't even have.
Ain't nothing off the cuff.
Yeah, ain't nothing off the cuff, right? And motherfuckers is selling themselves. We talk about incels on here all the time. Y'all selling yourselves to your Instagram, and then you get mad at us for trying to sell ourselves. What the fuck?
We trying to make ourselves purchasable.
You know what I mean? What the fuck?
That's what Dr. Umar said.
What did Umar say? You listening to Umar now? What Umar say?
I love Umar.
We don't need no white man paperwork. Shout out to Umar. What Umar say?
I like Umar. On the Breakfast Club, he made, I can't, you know, obviously I can't quote him verbatim, but he made a comment about how now the men are emulating, you know, the females pretty much, like in the things that they do for attention or whatever like that. So something to that extent.
Hey, you ain't gonna sit here with me all this damn time be Umar quoting me. We ain't gonna do that. And then get credit
y'all
to
be
Umar.
saying the same thing. I mean, y'all be saying the same thing.
But let me tell you, Umar's a fraud. Was you here when we talked about Umar?
Yeah.
Because he does the same shit. Yeah.
The game is afoot, man.
The game is afoot. Goddamn it! I watched Umar. I said, look at this nigga work.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It'd be interesting to see that kind of stuff. Unless Lorianna's around. My mama, you get Candace around her. She is the paparazzi, my nigga. She just take pictures all day. And she'll send them to the final group chat later. Like, you was taking pictures, man? Like, you OC. And then she'll post something on you like, you gotta take that down. What's wrong with you? Look how we all look. Like, look how I look. Take that down. Like,
right.
But it's so necessary though, man. I saw something, man. It was older dude. Like, what's the one thing you regret? And he was like, man, not taking pictures. Yeah. When I was a young nigga, it wasn't Instagram and all that shit didn't exist, so it really wasn't cool.
Wasn't really no
fucking pictures. You know what I mean? When I think about like all the shit and the experiences I've had and all that, there's just no documentation to none of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm in China. I don't got nothing to say I've been there. You know what I mean? That's some stupid shit.
I'm like 50-50 on it. Like, I'm probably 51-49, 51 not taking, 50-49 taking them, because like, I'll just be so present, G. I'll be so present in the moment. I don't really give a fuck to document this shit photographically for like the future. Now, I do agree with you. Sometimes I look back and like, damn, I should have some photos of that. But in the moment, I never feel like, let me interrupt this moment and take a fucking photo. I just be like, let me just fucking chill and vibe. Like,
I think
we saw a raw ass fireworks display. I thought about like recording. I was like, no.
Well, that's something.
I don't want to watch this shit through my phone. I just want to see it.
Yeah, I think that's different. But
concerts, all that
what
shit.
I've been learning to do or trying to do is like, let me at least take one picture, 2 pictures of the experience. Because like, as much as I've traveled and been different places, and I don't post them or do anything with them, you won't see any of that on my Instagram, but I've been a lot of places, you know what I mean? But so I try to take at least a few pictures.
Just so you have them.
Just to have them, or even like places where Nyla and I have been, like my daughter, she always asks me, like, I've been here before, right? I've been here. Like, she's like, I've been to Hawaii before, right? I'm like, no, you haven't. But because she doesn't remember those, she don't remember those trips, I can go back and like show it to her a little bit. You know, I just started doing that. I
think about it like when I see like, it'd be like somebody's birthday on Instagram, right? And I may or may not know them, but I know their friend. Yeah. And their friend will post like 37 pictures of them in their story. Yeah. Like, I don't got 37 pictures of none of my friends. Yeah. It's like, damn, I probably should though. You know what I mean? Like, even like my brothers and shit. Like, I gotta like go back through some shit to find like 3 or 4 pictures of us, and this is 30, 40 years in the making type shit.
And think about, 50 years from now or 200 years from now.
Next generation.
You want to be able to look back on that and say, whoever this person is, and like refer back to those images. So I think that's where it's
my cousin
beneficial.
My cousin that died last month, people just been sending pictures of him, through various family chats or whatever. His brother's wife, my cousin Katie, she been sending like pictures, and I was like, damn. She been sending all the pictures that she found that like I'm in and shit. I'm like, damn, I forgot all about these types of pictures. Right. That shit do be hella fucking cool. So like, I agree with y'all. I just still be like, damn, I don't.
It's because of the list, cuz.
It ain't because of the list for me.
It's because of the list.
It's not.
It might not be the list.
I don't have to post them.
It might not be the list for you directly, but it creates a culture though, right? Mm-hmm. It creates a culture.
But we ain't grew up in that culture, bro.
No, we did. Whether we acknowledge it or not, it formulates itself in different ways, right? Like what the rest of the world, or specifically what women think of you, matters. You know what I mean? How you move through the world matters. Yeah. And it's that, whether it's a picture or not, it's that you too into yourself, your ego, all that shit has always been on the back of you can't have that on you. You know what I mean? So that's part of it. It is part of it. Even my homies, like just like you said, they sending pictures and all that. I got a homie who's a picture dude. Take a picture, y'all. And I'd be like, man, you corny. Yeah. But then I'd be appreciate the fact that he got pictures of us from when we was 14, 15. You know what I mean? Like, I would have never be like, hey, y'all, let's get this picture. It wouldn't happen. You know what I mean?
I just wish motherfuckers, like, just take the pictures. I would give my mama a hard time about the shit. But really, I just do that. Just take the pictures, and then we can pull out
it's like
the
somebody got to be that
I don't
person.
like this whole, because it turned into a whole thing, and it interrupts what the fuck we doing. Like, I'm on the space. Y'all got the space table. Y'all got the dance floor. Y'all start making your plate. Y'all start making your drink. Y'all come from out the house. We finna take a picture. Man, if you don't go, just take these damn pictures and let people, you know what I mean? Like, we just vibing. Like, take the damn pictures if you're going to take the pictures. But, you know, like I said, I'm 50-50 on it. I get it. But at the same time, I'll be on some live in the moment shit. I do hate how people go to all the concerts and the whole concert be on your phone.
Hate that.
I do hate that.
Yeah, that's.
If you're gonna get a video or two, I ain't mad at you. But if the whole fucking concert on your phone, you ain't going to the concert no more than I went to the motherfucking concert.
Right, because I just saw it through your phone.
I'm saying pictures too, man. But and it's like we live in this digital space, man. We don't have the same shit no more. Like I got a bunch of pictures just recently, like my great grandfather, and I was showing my kids, and somebody gave me like a whole envelope full of like old pictures of my family, and it was just an experience. We were just sitting there going through them. But today, probably for the last 20 years, where do those pictures exist at? Right, they're all digital, right? You lose your phone, you lose that.
OV.
Right, that's whack as shit. Like even in the concept of the 50 years from now, how does that transfer?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Go look at Granddaddy's Facebook. Man, that's whack as shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it's gonna be.
That's
look
whack
at Granddaddy's Facebook.
But think about it.
That's
you know
true,
what I mean? That's whack as shit.
We used to give my mama a hard time because she would have, like, in the little Chester drawer, whatever the hell, she would have just like dozens and dozens and dozens of rolls of film. It's like you're never gonna get those films developed. But then she ultimately did, and that's like thousands of pictures of, you know, some of them random shit or whatever, but it's some good pictures of people that have gone and passed, people that have whatever, and it's like, oh, these is cool as hell. Like, so you know what? You're right. We need to take more fucking pictures. Ryan, what the fuck do you be doing with your life?
Right.
Where was your antennas when niggas needed pictures?
Right.
All the time. You don't always get the pictures, bro. You always got your camera, but you usually is around chasing box and not taking pictures. Box come around, you get to snapping. No, I'm playing. We need more pictures, man. For real. I agree with y'all. Let's hop into some of these conversations for today, E.
All right.
What say you about the idea of, how the fuck did I go through this far on my phone? Anyway, what say you about this idea, and I'm asking you specifically, the narrative that women have this very small pool of good men to choose from. And it's usually posed in this narrative like, y'all better stop being so picky because you getting old, and as you get older, that pool gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You better stop being so picky because you're going to end up alone. You're going to be a cat lady. You're going to be you off the bam.
Yeah, we only got 18 to 40. Really 18 to 35, apparently, let America tell it.
I mean, the theory in that is that men tend to get more attractive as they grow older. In theory, right?
Yeah.
It's not always true. Some niggas peak early. But what's definitely true, almost always, is that women peak early, physically speaking. And then time, children, whatever the fuck, kind of takes away from that, whereas men get to grow into their look, they get beards, they get gray, salt and pepper. Some of that shit is attractive, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the idea in general, though, that like, oh, women, y'all ain't got that much time and y'all don't have that large of a pool to choose from in the first place when it comes to men?
Well, I bought into it at first. Like, I agreed, and I guess the reason why I probably agreed was maybe because it was the narrative, or because women were complaining a lot of, about a lot of, the lack of men, or the lack of type of men that they wanted. It wasn't until I probably separated myself to understand the type of man that I want, and looked at the type of men that have been in my life or are in my life, and know that they're like good men. You know what I mean? Even if they don't ultimately end up being like
your man,
my man,
right.
because you know it take a lot to get to the person that's gonna be your partner or whatever, right? Considering all the different
dynamics,
right? But once I realized like the men that have been in my life, or are in my life for the most part, like they're good men, like they're good people, right? So I would have bought into it at first until I took that away from it, right? And kind of like got out of my own. Two-Face is just killing me today. Like this is like the fifth face that he done made. But so I would say that. And then when you hear stories, right? If I'm talking to my friends or different women, and you realize, and the funniest part is like realizing that these men recycle themselves.
What you mean?
Like they come back, right? No matter what, they just be there all the time, right?
Because they your
But then, yeah, and not me. I'm not talking about just in different scenarios and different women that I've spoken to and stuff like that. It's like the same men still talking about one of your friends even. You know what I mean? Like, what up type of thing, you know, trying to get back at you or whatever. You're still here too. You're still single. You're not married. You know what I mean? You say you want a family. You want this, that, and the third. So what's your problem? Like, I'm not the only one with the problem. You clearly a problem, or maybe not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not even a problem.
On either side.
But and that's what I told to one. I've had this conversation with a man, and so have a few of my friends where the guy is saying that, but it's been different scenarios where a guy's saying it like, you need to treat me right because I got options out here or whatever the case may be. But my response is like, okay, y'all have it just as bad as we have it, because from what I'm hearing from men is that it's not so easy to it's not so many great options as far as women go either, because now everybody got all these issues with, well, she just want me for money, or I'm the going out boyfriend, or whatever the case may be. So not saying that it's, right or wrong, but I'm just saying it's hard for
everybody,
for all of us. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Why is it hard for everybody?
Oh, that's a good question. I got the answer.
Y'all tell me then.
No, I want to hear your answer, then I'll tell you the real answer.
I would say, I don't even, okay. Why is it hard for everybody? I think it's hard for everybody because, I want to say, I'm trying to see how to say this. Because what I was going to say is like, people think they deserve more than what they are, what they're getting. Like, I feel like people's expectations are, like far beyond what it actually really is. Like, they have unrealistic expectations. I feel like men and women have unrealistic expectations of what a relationship is, or what it's supposed to look like, or what it's supposed to feel like. I feel like I've been guilty of that, and I feel like a lot of people are guilty of that. So I think that's why it's hard. You think you deserve better?
I agree with you, and I wouldn't even say this idea of better or deserve, because it's just a negative connotation with that. But I agree with you in the general philosophy of, we want something other than what relationships are supposed to be about. Right. And I think that if you can first truly understand who the fuck you are and what the fuck you really want in life, then that will kind of allow you to kind of harness in on what you are looking for in a partner. And the pool won't seem so diluted by a bunch of other bullshit, because I'm not even interested in that other bullshit. It's a show out, it's called Hard Knocks. It's an NFL reality show, if you will. They kind of follow the teams, you get real kind of behind the scenes access. They're doing one right now, the first time they've done it in the off season, where they follow the front office, general manager, decision makers around. And while the New York Giants are trying to figure out which players they want to acquire via the draft, via free agency, whatever the fuck, they bring in their defensive coordinator, their defensive coach, and he's like, to say, hey, what type of defense do you want to run? Right? Like, there's an infinite pool of players out here. Got a lot of P in it. Some of these niggas gonna be weak. Some of these, you know what I mean? But there's an infinite pool of players out here. But to kind of hone in on what they're looking for, they brought in the defensive coordinator to say, okay, what defense are you running? and what players best fit your scheme. And he presented that to the entire front office staff, all the scouts, college scouts, pro personnel department, general manager, all of it. Because now we have a real idea of what players we're looking for. Now I can say, nope, not you. I don't care how good you look. You too big for what we trying to do. You too little for what we trying to do. You don't fit, right? I think we gotta do the same thing with our personal shit. Like, you gotta be able to stand in front of that motherfucking mirror with yourself and be like, okay, what scheme am I trying to run? Like, you know what I mean? What am I trying to do philosophically in terms of this partnership?
Yeah.
And then it allows you to be more targeted in your approach for a partnership. And I don't think we fucking do that. I think we all allow society to tell us what our partner should look like. Nigga, I ain't running that scheme.
Or what Tu always says, like, I agree with you when you say, you know, you say women get bored. So I'll just talk about from the women's standpoint. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, we think it's supposed to be all frills and like fun and like doing this, that, and the third. And so I think once you get past that, knowing that it's not always going to be that, then we can start drilling down. Like,
unless you are all frills and fun nigga.
And then find all frills and fun.
If that's the phase you at, and you all frills and fun, and you all boats and twerking and dinners and beaches and vacation, go.
Yeah.
But if you truly assess yourself and say, okay, I'm looking for this, that, and the third, and it's beyond the frills and fun, then you should be looking for a partner, or at least, you know, that should be your kind of Northern Star.
I think y'all both wrong and right simultaneously.
Yeah, only you could say things like that.
It makes sense though.
We've never been wrong and right.
I think you're right for your age bracket, but I think you're wrong for the construct. Right? And he just said it's like we let society decide. But without letting society decide, then what is it? Right? One of the things you put on there was talking about monogamy. Well, if we really pull back the layers of that shit, monogamy is not just a sexual declaration. It's a political declaration. It really is. Chosen by society. Right? It's what it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I keep when we deal with the feminine and the masculine. Right? And I think the generations that y'all engage in deal more in the feminine, and it's by science and by politics and by the social standard. But the very essence of what the feminine is chaos. The very essence of what the masculine is order. We and y'all in chaos.
It's out of it. Yeah.
That's what it is. So you said you choose this, you choose this. Yeah, everybody can choose that, but that don't mean it's a win. It just means I want fun now, so I'm gonna have fun now. So what does success look like? There is no definitive success when whatever you want to choose is the right thing to choose.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
So I agree with that.
I come from, my parents were boomers. So I still got close relationships with grandparents and great grandparents who had a structured kind of idea of what a family's supposed to be, right? Even with slavery and all other shit to go with it, the family didn't really, specifically the black family, didn't really break up till post welfare.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got aunts and uncles. You know what I mean? That's a very common thing. I talk about all the time, like how my second cousins is like my first cousins, because we deep as fuck in these streets.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was family associated, right? We've had these conversations before. Like my family reunions, it'd be 800 motherfuckers in the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know niggas on that block who didn't ever have that kind of experience. So we start to dwindling away from those ideas. So if we dwindling away from those ideas, what's shaping the next idea?
Yeah.
And it's been no definitive yet. Right? And that's what I said.
Developing, yeah.
We've had this conversation before, and I was like, we keep saying the standard is wherever I fall at, instead of what I've getting up and completed, right? There is no definitive. So now I can say the value of my life is being creating a slut walk. I can say the value, you know what I mean? It's wherever I decide to anchor myself in, because it ain't shit anchored in. You know what I mean? So I hear you, but there is no idea right now of what success looks like.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. There's no idea what success is like. And I also don't necessarily believe that there is a singular idea of what success is like. Not when you're talking about the specific happiness of an individual with their relationship. Now, if you extrapolate that out amongst generations and family and all that.
Hear what I said in the beginning of that conversation. The concept itself was never just about the general happiness of a person. That's why I said what defines success.
Right, so because it's changing now.
Right.
Yeah.
It was never the definitive of family or marriage. It was never about your general happiness. It was about the morality of the concept of family.
I don't know that to be true.
No, that's the design. It was So I always say this, right? I think I always say you can't legislate love, right? And we talk about that in a whole different context. But you can legislate order.
Yeah.
Right? By law.
I mean, women didn't even have
Today
rights.
in 37 states, it's illegal to cheat on your lady.
Right.
That's a ramification of the law being monogamy.
Yeah.
You can legislate those things.
Yeah.
So in order to start society, here's the moral standards that we create. Just like if you go to Islamic country.
Or like when you had to have a man to even like show up somewhere, open a bank account, like do those type of things, you actually
But even that's extrapolating out in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
Right? That's some control and patriarchal shit. But the construct, if you just take it out of the context of monogamy, if you go to an Islamic country, right, and the woman got on the burqa, we look over here and be like, what the fuck is that? But by law, there's a standard of why that woman wears that burqa.
Right.
Now, from our perspectives, we'd be like, man, that's this and that's, but you ain't in their shit.
Right.
You don't have their perspectives.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is a law that this is how we do. You understand what I'm saying? And in them countries, polygamy is usually the standard. It ain't even monogamy, right? But how women express themselves, that can be legislated. So when you start to pull that back, let's take just the burqa idea, right? Because there's arguments around that shit now. Like they're starting to attach themselves to Western ideologies and philosophies and all that shit. Well, I want to do this and I want to do this. You want to go from a burqa to doing what we do over here. Ain't gonna be no slut walks over here, shorty. You know what I mean? Like that's extreme from where we're coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
But as that progression goes out, what becomes the standardized version of the morality of our society?
Okay, so with that being said, as far as like the relationships, from the relationship standpoint, and determining like what you want, because like what you're saying is true, but the thing that is happening, and I think this is the issue, like within all of or most of our conversations, is that times are changing and things are changing, so therefore it needs to be kind of like a new, or maybe it doesn't have to be a new, it would probably be just better to just be able to just kind of like go. What you're saying is we shouldn't, and you're saying we should, right? To an extent. You know what I'm saying?
I want you to finish your point.
Yeah, I wanted to.
Not necessarily that's all I'm saying, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to ask, which is also okay. I wanted to ask. You know, we were talking about intimacy or affection. For instance, I've determined that what I really need from a partner, or what I would really like from my next relationship, is I've had it in relationships, but what I really appreciate is like being able to just be like super affectionate, you know, treat her like a baby, you know, to an extent.
That's right,
like
yeah.
I like a man that just let me just climb all over him, just lay there, rub my back, like all that. But that don't come from you don't get that with every person, right?
Right.
But so if that's something that's important to me, or something that I would like, everything else aligns but that with a man, let's say, do you think like that sort of energy is something that can be created, or that's something that's just, you know, like is that a space that can be created? I think that's one of the questions I have written down.
I think not.
Yeah.
I don't think it can be created. I think that's why I say it's important that you present to your front office, what do I want? What am I looking for?
Yeah.
And then you can go find it, and it will allow you to find it with more precision, because I don't think you can create it. I'm just not me specifically. He might just not be a nigga that's like that kind of affectionate. He might not be that kind of physical touch nigga. He might be like uncomfortable, like get off me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might not say it, but you just know he not always under the same act that you own like that. And it's like, oh shit, well, that's probably not it. It's probably not it.
Right.
Not to say this a bad person or useless or a waste of time. That's just probably not the thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that includes this. You don't have that. I'm not saying that you are bad, right? Like in the example I gave earlier, I'm not saying you can't be a good player in this league. You don't fit this scheme, G. That's it. And that's okay. But we don't want to do that. So we would rather think I can take the the 300-pound DN and turn him into a 250-pound DN that can bend the corner with speed and agility. No, you can't. That nigga is a 300-pound, hold his man, like he that kind of nigga. Very valuable if that's the game you're running. If you running the bend, he can't do that, G. So just decide. You know what I mean? I don't think this idea of success is this one-size-fit-all thing. It's whatever the fuck you want it to look like. We don't all got to run the same scheme. And it don't mean that our families won't be successful or sustained or attached or none of that shit. I'm talking about on the base level of, does this relationship fulfill me, make me happy, is it sustainable? If it is, then we can figure it out going forward what family looks like as we extrapolate that out over generations. But we can't do none of that shit if at the base level, we not even fucking compatible for real. You cute, you got some bread, you whatever I like about you, right? So obviously I like something about you, I'm here. But if at the end of the day we not really compatible, what we doing?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with Herb on that though, right? I think there's value in compatibility, sure, right? But even in your perspective, right? Do either y'all think y'all been the same with all y'all partners? Y'all been the same person with all y'all partners? What was the difference in the partnerships? What made you respond different in the partnerships?
It's usually the person. The other person probably, I guess.
I haven't been the same in all my partnerships. I have desired the same from all my partnerships.
Okay.
But have you been the same? Have you shown up as the same person in all your partnerships?
No.
So he asked the question, right? If I want a dude who's uber affectionate and he don't come to the table uber affectionate, does that mean that he's incapable of being uber affectionate? Because it might be something in E that's making him un-uber affectionate. He might be uber affectionate with a different partner.
That's compatibility. That's what I'm talking about.
Hear what I'm saying? My argument isn't that it's not in him though, right? It's like, well, it ain't in him, so we should just bounce. No, that's not true. Which goes back to how I always talk about relationships in general, right? Like I say just like you said, I've always wanted the same thing. Well, you could desire a whole lot, but who are you? Because what you get is who you are, right? You could desire a whole lot of shit. People speak into the existence all the time. I'm this person, but in reality, you ain't that person. So what the universe does with a partner is it gives you a reflection of yourself. It does, right? So if you want that out of a partner, what is it in you that has to change to activate that in them? It's like a goddamn puzzle. Each key unlocks a different door. It's how it works. Now, we don't have the patience to figure that shit out. Right. We don't have the vulnerability to figure that shit out. We afraid of showing our own insecurities to figure that shit out. But to say it's impossible is not a real thing.
I agree with you. I don't think it's impossible at all. I think we lack the decisiveness to say, like, if I take a key and go turn that fucking door and it don't work, immediately I'm like, this key ain't gonna turn that fucking door. But somebody, hey, this key do work on this floor. I guarantee you that. I gotta go to the next fucking door. I'm like, I can keep playing with this door if I want. I might even fucking like the door. But goddamn it, this don't unlock it.
I'm only responding to the question you asked though, right? You said he has all these other attributes that I fuck with, but this is the one that's lacking, right? Do I throw away the fish because of this one lacking thing? That's on you to decide. I can't decide that for you. What I'm saying is that it's not an impossibility to get anything out of any human being, depending on how you show up in the race. It just is what it is, right? And to the point I'm making of saying you don't show up the same in every one of them situations is because it's something in that situation or something in you that allowed you to respond differently, right? Yeah. Y'all laugh out two ain't affectionate. Two ain't always unaffectionate. That ain't true. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think like in the scenario, like I'm not looking to, make a decision. I'm just using an example because that's one that stood out to me. But I just took it as like a person. You have a wall up. You're closed off. You know what I mean? Which is fine. You know what I mean? And I did move on from the situation. It's like, oh, okay. I don't have the time or the energy or the patience to, play these games or what I deem is, play these games or whatever like that when basically like when I know when I'm around somebody else or if I'm with another person, I'm completely free, safe, happy and, can free to like be me. You know what I mean? Like this side of me. So like even when you said, are you the same person in every relationship, it's like different sides. you know what I mean, come out. But yeah.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
And I've heard that from other women too, and like, you know, different. Even my father, like we talked about those type of things from the affection standpoint at least.
I'm gonna say from a universal standpoint though, if that whatever that shared situation is with that party in the moment, that's what the universe or what you're designing from the universe, whether you're speaking to it or not. You need this part of you fixed in this moment in time.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Let's move on to what may have been a physical representation of all this shit. Right? Megan Good, famed actress, been fine since been fine. Been in movies since she was like movies and commercials, like 4-5 years old type shit.
Looking better as she get older. So
getting finer and finer
age
and finer.
Too.
Nah, for sure, for sure.
I'm trying to be like that.
Nah, she on it.
Working on it.
She on it. I feel like they might have been in the airport. I don't know what the fuck they were. But for some reason, I feel like it was an airport.
I thought it was a premiere. It wasn't a premiere?
I have no idea. It could have very well been a premiere. I'm just talking. I just feel like it was an airport. They was in an airport. And I don't know if they was in an airport. She's with her partner, Jonathan Majors, also famed actor. They come across Michael Ealy, famed actor. Michael Ealy and Megan Good have whatever history they have, maybe just as friends, maybe as romantic. I don't know what the history is. But they see each other and they kind of glow and get excited and they embrace with such passion and joy that he lifts her off the ground.
Yeah, swings
her around. He don't give her a full 360 John, but he give her like a little sway. And Jonathan Majors kind of got the sad face on it, like
he looks super awkward.
Like, damn, bro, you hug my lady, pick her up, and sway her around a little bit. I don't like that. Internet being what it being, society being what it being. Most of the first videos that came out was only of him picking her up, swaying her around, skipping over Jonathan Majors, dapping up 2 other people that was there, and never acknowledging Buddy. And so that created a whole swarm of like, yo, what the? That's bogus as hell.
So of course they gonna do that.
Apparently there were other videos that did show him actually dap up Jonathan Majors, maybe even before he actually hugged Megan Good. But the point is, as I'm talking about how it may relate, maybe they just got that kind of energy, right? Maybe not necessarily, whatever.
So maybe like, with that.
Maybe not necessarily energy to sustain a relationship. So maybe all the other shit that Jonathan Majors bring is good enough to sustain a relationship, but all that affection and intimacy shit that you was talking about, her and Michael Ealy got that shit in spades.
I think if I got that with anybody, I don't want to.
I don't think they got shit to do with the conversation though. It's about respect and ego. For me,
it's 2 different conversations, bro. We can have that conversation, or we're going to have that conversation. That's the topic is about in general. I'm just saying, transitionally speaking, I thought they had a level of chemistry on the intimacy and affection side that is just undeniable.
I'd chemistry their ass right on up if I was Jonathan Majors. Chemistry their ass right on up. I'd show them some affection.
It's a wrap. So you like physical touch? No, let me stop.
What's the Drake line? You know the type of hugs. The type of hugs when you know I used to fuck. That's what I used to fuck you hug.
It was.
He fucked her.
I wouldn't say.
And my dick. He fucked her. And I ain't mad at that, but he fucked her.
I ain't mad.
Yeah, he fucked her.
They got movies together, yeah. I mean, they both sex symbols.
They got all kind of movies together. Trust me, believe that.
Most heterosexual men will tell you that Megan Good is fine. Even he said she was a nice looking woman. Yeah. Most heterosexual women and even a nigga keeping it a buck would be like, yeah, Michael Ealy is an attractive dude. I can see why.
In that situation, Michael Ealy or the other nigga who was dancing like a slave. What's his name?
Jonathan
Majors. Who wins?
Who wins what?
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors.
Okay.
He's more attractive?
That's my type.
Okay.
That's my
ex-slave. That's your type.
That's my type. I like a.
Ex-slave is wild as hell.
Before Jonathan Majors.
Just escaped.
Before Jonathan.
I like them kind of niggas. Don't know their way north.
Before he even came like.
What's wrong with you?
Come on, man. Come on, God. Okay.
Before he even became like this person, before I knew who he was. Bliss actually sent me a video.
Jonathan Majors?
Yeah, she sent me a video. Before I even knew who he was, she sent me a video of him. He was just being a man and doing shit, and it was like a morning routine type of video. And then I started watching.
What kind of man shit he was doing? Because when he met Michael Ealy, he didn't do no man shit.
He did.
I mean, he just was talking about his regimen. Something about me and discipline and regimens that men have. I like that.
Against the cone players. The real
I
game,
like
he
somebody
shut down.
that wake up at 5 a.m.
He a cone player.
We call them T-shirt All-Americans.
He killing drills.
T-shirt All-Americans, man.
T-shirt All-Americans.
He kind of looked like my ex a little bit. He reminded me of my ex a little bit.
Because in the real game, that nigga didn't know what to do. He shut down.
But he had that face like, damn, I don't
he
like
was
this.
nervous. He was fixing his shirt and stuff. He like,
yeah, like I don't belong here.
And
that's awkward. Yeah, it's awkward.
Yeah, I don't, whatever, you know.
I have a friend who I fear, like, I have to talk to and be like, because for whatever reason, I just feel like he would make that type of awkward scene. Yeah, so I tell him I'm like, I will boot you. You will be out of here if you ever behave.
But that's your responsibility, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was Megan's responsibility.
You should have gave him the demo.
Hey,
you know how
here. I'm fucking him now.
You know how like you fuck with a nigga enough just to be cordial publicly, but don't act like we tight like that. He come in for the full half bro hug and you give him the forearm stiff. Like, I dap you up, but keep it right there, bro. Like, don't.
Like she
like walking out through your house and going in your refrigerator and
stuff. Nah.
Yeah, I used to be that nigga. I would do that shit on purpose. Ego, you know what I mean? Just to let you know, would they mark your territory type of shit. Call light skin if you want. Me. You know what I mean?
I was finna cap. I was finna say I ain't never really been that nigga, but I have been. But what I wanted to say was mostly I'm gonna follow her energy. So if she,
I could definitely see you doing.
If she,
and she did that,
and she,
She was like, she was trying to clean it up. She like, come on, say hi. Like she definitely was trying to clean it up. It was so
after she dumping that nigga arms.
It was hilarious.
Right. Oh, you remember I'm still with him, right? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I don't know, man. If
that nigga been taking L's, G.
If your woman giving off that kind of energy, then
I fucks with.
What you want me to do about it?
I hope that Jonathan Majors come out of all of this that's gone on, because watching that Club Shay Shay interview with Megan Good, I loved how she talked about how she was afraid to ask for more money, even though she's been in the industry for like all these years. It took for her to get with this man, tell him what her price that she was going to ask for, and him to be like, no, ask for this. This is how you do it, da-da-da-da-da. She goes back, tries it, and it's like, okay, yeah, you got it. But otherwise, she probably
would have been. That was a white woman.
You said what?
That was a white woman. It's over for homie. You said you hope he comes back.
No, I hope he bounces back. I think he can.
He'll be doing too.
I'm gonna think positive.
No, that's a white woman. It's over.
I feel like he had a chance to be in some big, big picture motion films and all that, and so he got to be around on that level. So when he hears Lady talking about it on a lesser level, even though she's been in the game for 30 years, he's like, nah, babe, you ain't got to go off that. Like, ask for this number. She go back, ask for this number, and get something closer to what she really thinks she's worth. I think that's a good thing to let your woman know what her value is, and
nice to have that.
Encourage her to level up on that way. I think that's dope.
Yeah.
What you do with the girl who's that kind of affectionate like Michael Ealy when your lady around?
Nothing. Hey everybody, come on.
Nah, cause
hey, say hello, baby.
See, here's the thing though, like that's some audacious shit for a woman to do. On some man shit, I get it. Like it's the nature of men. Lions gonna come in your pride and piss on your tree, so you know I'm here. It's the man shit to kind of do that.
I think women do that shit more than men.
I think they do it on some flaunting shit while she's around. But to walk dead up in her face and be like, like kiss that nigga, hug him a kind of way, that is audacious.
What a woman does what a woman does is they hug you.
It happen. I'm just saying it's.
No, what the woman does, the difference that they do, they don't have to kiss you. They do the neck hug.
Right.
Instead
all that kind of shit.
I've seen that.
That kind of shit.
I've heard that.
If she get on her tippy toes, she on bullshit. Because you can just stay down here, we can have a regular hug. But you get on your tippy toes and do this shit. You on you on different type of activity and time, and the duration of the hug. And it's like, yo, cool out. But also, do you want to fight my girl? Because she will fight you. Like, you know what I mean? As some man, that's what I'm saying. On some man shit, I'm like, yeah, I'll fight you right here in this airport. I'll beat your ass. What's up? If I'm on that. Yeah. I'm not saying Michael Ealy was on that. I'm not even saying he won't that with Jonathan Majors. I don't think he does, to keep it a buck.
I'm not fighting the dude.
What you mean?
You just hugged him like that. You allowed him to pick your ass up. Me and you have issue. He's already said I fucked her and I can continue to fuck her.
I ain't saying he gotta fight him. I'm saying the dude come up on. If you come up with that energy, you gotta know, like, nigga, if it go there, I'm cool with that.
I think what Michael Ealy did was he established the hierarchy.
Huh?
I think Michael Ealy established the hierarchy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pissing on your tree.
You're not.
That's what I'm saying.
So as the you're not guy,
you walk away.
You got to say, you know what, have a nice life,
I'm not.
sweetie. I'm not him.
That's what the.
It was fun fucking on you.
That's what lion prides do, nigga. The lion prides do that. I walk up with the deeper, darker mane. I walk up with the deeper, more vibrational fucking roar, and I'm telling you, nigga, fight me or move. And bro,
if it's my man and a woman walk up and hug you around your neck, I'm politely pulling you back. Like, I'm doing something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
but I get what you're saying. The person got to step aside.
Very audacious thing. I'm with you on that. I ain't never fighting a nigga about what my partner chooses to do. Like, I don't even know you, bro. You don't owe me no fucking loyalty. Respect is cool, but you don't owe me no fucking loyalty, none of that shit. Like, now if she like, nah, you persist, now it's us now.
But that caught her off guard.
Off guard? She jumped in that
nigga's arms.
It.
I thought he picked her up.
She created the energy.
Okay, maybe I need to run it back. I need to run it back.
I'm much bigger than you, much stronger than you. I couldn't just pick you up if you ain't want me to pick you up.
I gotta run it back. I thought he just I thought she just hugged him.
Soldier boy into that man's arms.
Motherfucker can't just pick you up because they want to. Not like that.
I thought she just hugged him and he like scooped her up, the type of thing. Maybe I gotta run it back.
With the big cheesy face?
How old is she? Y'all know?
She about 40 something, early 40s. Yeah.
Cause she was in Friday. When Friday dropped, like 91?
Yeah, I think she said she was. I just watched that interview,
like
so I got a lot of
6, 7 or some shit in that shit.
I think she was 12.
She was 12 in that joint?
She was like 12 or something. She's like 42 or something like that, I think. Yeah, 40, maybe early 40s.
I don't know. That's a lot. What they could have done is just like left the whole airport together and just kept it moving. On the poly side, they could have worked that out. You know what I mean? He say no, sir. A lot of people say yes, sir. A lot of people was like, okay. Dating pool being what it is, limited as it may or may not be, like we talked about earlier. More people are finding themselves considering what once was an absolute non-starter. And I ain't talking about like our grandma shit. They wasn't on no poly shit. They just fucking knew.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just fucking knew granddaddy got another family over there. But on this cooperative poly shit, it's becoming more of at least a topic to consider than it ever has been before. But
okay, so before we even get into that, it's all type of different definitions for these things, right? Like different categories, polyamory, poly.
Well, that's why I just leave it at poly, because you get into polygamy, polygyny. You talk about the woman, the man. It's just a lot, but poly will umbrella all of that shit. The
basis of it though is supposed to be, and I guess this will be kind of the debate or the argument, is that it's the man and all the women are supposed to be upholding the household, or is the man supposed to be taking care? He's supposed to be able to have as many wives as he can afford, right? Is the biblical.
I don't know the Bible that well.
Stance.
I'm not talking about it from any strict guideline perspective.
Okay.
I'm merely talking about it poly from perspective of love and abundance, multiple relationships, multiple partners, this idea of transparency and cooperative existence. Right? Okay. I don't know. I'm not saying it from the man's perspective, woman's perspective. I'm just saying the idea of it
poly
in general.
Okay. What about it?
From there, there's a lot of different conversations that come off of it. A lot of branches on that tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What say you? I mean, as it becomes more popular in terms of the lexicon, the conversation.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's for me unless I'm able to have a boyfriend, like extra boyfriends as well. I probably could deal with it. I don't know. I know the conversations that I've been.
So it is for you.
When Herb talks about the umbrella poly, it's not specific to man or woman. It's just multiple relationships.
Yeah,
so the woman could have multiple relationships too.
Yeah. I mean, what do you mean? Would I be into it, or like would I do it? What's the question?
I'm saying, has it become more acceptable for you as it has seemed to become in the lexicon?
Yes and no. Ultimately, that's not what I want for my life. I understand it. No. I'm gonna say no. No. That's my final answer. No.
I think this goes right back to the first conversation. Right back. Because I think outside of marriage, most people are poly. The problem comes in when you have to cooperate. When there's a goal attached to why we're relating. Once you got to cooperate, this shit don't work no more. Right? So yeah, niggas could do poly all day. Because that's what the fuck you do anyway.
Yeah, they be doing it.
The minute you got to cooperate, it's you that you got to deal with. It ain't the relationship.
Yeah.
It's you that you got to deal with. I think it works for y'all because y'all ain't got nothing to cooperate with. I think that was the first conversation. There is no standardized goals anymore. Right? Like you hear women say or men say or both say, I want a child, but I don't want this long-term commitment to this. Right? Or I want this, but I don't want this long-term commitment to this. Right? There's people opting to have, you know, what's the lady who don't want the bus driver? She just got artificially inseminated with it. You know, it's all this new technology shit because I don't want to cooperate. I want to live how I want to live. I want to make the moves I want to make, which all speaks to what I was saying. This was legislated for the moral aptitude of a society. This is how we plan to go forward as a social standard.
So are we just becoming
also control and structure?
That's what I said. Are we becoming undone? I said, are we just becoming undone to piece something back together then?
Yeah, no, I don't really believe that it's a morality conversation so much as a control and structure conversation.
I'm not saying the morality standard. I said cooperation. That's structure. The cooperation part is what makes it a failure. Because outside of the cooperation part, that's what the fuck everybody do anyway. When you're not in a committed situation, what do they call that shit? Even if you fake monogamous for however many months you with such and such. But it's a word for that shit. Because white people put words on everything.
I don't know.
A relationship?
But it's what every human being does. No species is monogamous. Right?
Yeah.
Until you decide mentally to cooperate to something.
Yeah, but I think you can cooperate with multiple people too.
I'm not saying you can't. To what end though?
I think collectively y'all can build family. I think y'all can build community. I think y'all can build household. I think y'all can build wealth. I think y'all can build whatever the fuck y'all want to build.
I don't think that's unrealistic. Right? I think monogamy was based on the same concept. I think the failure of monogamy in American society today is the lack of cooperation we have as Americans. I think that's why monogamy fails. So to think you can take that same ideology to a multiple partnership is the same problem. The cooperation part is the failure. It's not the relating part.
So I push back on that because I think that one of the main root causes of our inability to cooperate monogamously is our desire to relate with others outside of this one person I've chosen whenever I chose them.
Yeah, see, I disagree with that. But I can hear you.
You know what I mean? Like I could cooperate with the one person I chose. We can get a house and we can figure out bills and we can figure out savings and we can start businesses and we can figure out whatever the fuck we need to figure out. This idea though that I belong to you and you belong to me so greatly restricts my freedom that eventually I begin to buck the system a little bit. And that becomes the precipice of the downfall, in my opinion, right? And in my personal experience.
I say to what end though, right? So how do we do this, right? How do we have this conversation and extrapolate just the sex part?
Yeah,
right? Here's what I'm saying though.
No sex shit, bro.
Even if we just take a monogamous marriage, because that's traditionally the end goal.
No sex shit.
Right?
Yeah.
80% of divorces are over finance, not fucking.
Right.
Right? 70% of Americans cheat. So you've been caught. No, I'm being real.
Come on.
So they're not divorcing over the partner. It's divorcing, and it usually comes out. It comes what they call it irreconcilable differences or whatever the fuck it is, right? But what that really, if you keep pulling the layers back, there's still cooperation. It's not other partners. I can adjust to an alignment of this lifestyle, and we the freedom to be, and that's the argument I'm making about the first conversation. Right? The reason why that can be a social standard, I'm not saying right or wrong, I'm saying why. Though. The reason why that legislation of a social standard works is because it becomes social standard.
Yeah.
Here's the goal that everybody's trying to achieve. You get a generation past the boomers, that goal doesn't exist. It looks worse in our communities because we have less access to have the resources to make that cooperation easier to obtain.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So now it's like, I don't fuck with you, but in reality, I don't fuck with my social standing. So let me find other ways to keep me entertained.
Yeah.
Right, but we talk about the boomers and even the generation before them or leading into them. We just talked about, like, I referenced granddaddy having 2 families. I just talked to my cousin Ray today about, man, we ain't kicking in a minute. Let's get up. Ray is absolutely my first cousin from my grandfather's other family. My grandfather was married to my mother's mother. My grandfather had another family with Ray's grandmother, right? But they all, like my uncles and my mom and them, they was all raised that way. So today, 2 generations later, me and Ray still like this. You know what I mean? So, like, what I'm saying is, in effect, they were doing this shit all fucking ready. You know what I mean?
We saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You see
I mean,
that?
yeah, y'all are
We're saying the exact same thing. The problem is the cooperation part. Even getting to your grandmama, it wasn't the other family that was like, no. But in the boomer stages, the cooperation standard was very different. We're going to fall in line with whatever this trajectory is.
What is even the
Today, we are not falling in line. The standards are different. I'm woman, hit me, woo, feminine, all the shit that comes with it. I'm not blaming women.
Standards. Yeah, I know.
Right? But the shit has changed. And I'm not cooperating with any of this shit that I feel uncomfortable with.
But that's why I was saying, like, that's why I said, are we becoming undone? Because we're not, it's nothing, what do you cooperate with? There is no structure to cooperate to. Not even, I mean, people still try to have, you know, the marriage, right? And just the monogamous, the 2 people. But like you said, people are still cheating, doing whatever X, Y, Z, or going through whatever they're going through, even if they decide to stay in the marriage. You kind of just doing what you, I guess it circle back to like
I think it's the same conversation we have around politics, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right? We laughing and joking about the shooting and the videos of Trump, and we all unserious. Now, in the moment in time where both candidates ain't shit and the brink of the destruction is on, now motherfuckers like, oh shit, what now? Yeah. But you never participated in this process till it got to this point. It's been getting here gradually. But every time a motherfucker yelling like, no nigga, there should be some standards. And you like, go to die. Let's go listen to 50. It's the same shit to me. Yeah. And now when you're on the brink of destruction, moral decay.
I don't think it's a morality conversation.
You don't, in context of what I'm saying.
I hear you, go ahead, I hear you.
Right?
I hear you.
What is the whole basis of a government in general?
Control.
Not just, no, that's not true. I said the basis, not how it works, right?
Structure?
The basis of it is structure, right? And it's really supposed to be undergirding for the least of thee. In all honesty, that's the construct of government, right? Now, anything can get out of whack when you don't have barriers and structure around it. When you let the motherfucking animals run the zoo, they're going to run the zoo.
Structure is about control.
So my point is, we have all these conversations today. We in the public lexicon talking about politics every day. Not just we, even motherfuckers who don't traditionally give a fuck. Because it's the 4th year and it's time to pay attention again. Right? But now we're dealing with some shit that we ain't really seen before. Right? And maybe we have seen it before, but because we ain't never seen it before, because we ain't never been in this moment in time before. So even the ignorant motherfucker 20 years ago was a very different version of an ignorant motherfucker 20 years down the line. Right? So now it's like, oh, now I want structure. Oh, now I want to play. Oh, now it makes sense. Oh, now it has value. But that's what the construct was in the beginning. But you thought you could just play. You could be unserious. You could do what makes me feel good, it keeps me entertained.
I feel
and
you
we
on
were
that.
living in that.
I feel you on that. As it pertains to relationships, though, I think what I'm saying, at least, is the opposite end of what you're saying. I think we're saying the same thing, but I think I'm saying it from the opposite end, in that this idea that we were going to go into this era or this society of this complete monogamous thing, and that's the moral standard, and that's the way forward, and that's how we're going to do this. I'm saying when the fuck were we doing this before? I'm saying our history tells us that that's not what the fuck was happening before. And as we tried to go out and do our own things, right? You talk about things being out of whack, and now we're trying to feel like, oh, when the fuck? I'm saying as we go out and do our own things, now we're trying to feel like, okay, well, how the fuck we get this shit back in order? And all I'm saying is, can we perhaps consider that a way to get this thing back in order would be to say, okay, how do I learn how to cooperate in a partnership with more than one person? Possibly, right?
So I'm clear, because I think we're missing the nuance in the conversation I'm having. I'm not anti-poly anything.
And I'm not anti-monogamy.
And I'm not anti either one. My whole argument since we started this was, I said the problem is the cooperation part.
Right.
Right? So you're not doing nothing different than just being single by putting the poly tag on it. The problem
I disagree.
So
you saying because
the cooperation part does not exist. And it's not because you poly or monogamous. It's because you in this society. I made the comparison between the Muslim communities who are polyamorous, but have very structured rules to just life. They're polyamorous. They are, right? I got a bunch of bitches over here. But we got a whole standards and rules that we live by. Right? But in a world where we don't have a whole standard and rules that we live by, none of that shit has value.
I get what you're saying, yeah. I get what you're saying.
None of that shit has value. You just single, nigga.
Yeah.
It don't have no value. Hence, even why marriage don't work, because you can't find the idea and identity to cooperate into anything. It's just entertaining. It's why we have why we so unserious conversation around every fucking thing else. Even in the construct of marriage, it is post my 20s in most instances. Post my, I don't give a fuck about nothing stage. Post I want to start to deal in a society in a way that has a structure to keep the society standard running. We don't have that now, which is why I always argue that we got a bunch of adult-ass children running around this motherfucker doing children-ass shit. Because they don't matter. The rules don't matter. I'm not cooperating. I'm 62 and 13 all at the same time.
Yeah, I think the inability to cooperate is very destructive in whatever love construct you choose to partake in. The inability to cooperate will doom that shit. We gotta go. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to this Relationship Friday edition of Herb and Two. We're gonna dive deeper on this fucking conversation of this idea of love and abundance and multiple partners and cooperation on the official Dirtbag Patreon edition of this episode. I got a lot of shit I need to get off my chest in my personal life that I want to speak on, man. So we're gonna get into.
I want to say something.
We're gonna get into say that shit. E.
Yeah.
Say it on Patreon. We gotta go, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Shout out to all of y'all for checking in. Please make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the page, and please share it with at least one person that you think will add value to it, or at least find value in it. Shout out to P.I. and Ron Rilla. They are doing the hard work behind the camera. For E and Two, I'm Herb. Y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.